Hey everyone, happy Monday. It's Connor. Hope you all are doing well. Something you need to know about me is that I love history. Recently, I geeked out on this Lewis and Clark podcast and learned about their life and just more details about the adventure they took from St. Louis all the way out to the Oregon coast. And it's fascinating. So if you are a history geek like me and you want to hear a good story, you should check out the Lewis and Clark podcast and hear more about their story. And the reason I bring that up is because history matters, right? It doesn't mean we have to live in the past or know every single detail, but having context and knowing how things used to be helps us in the present and in the future. And the same is true for the Bible. In fact, when we get into John chapter 4, what we're going to read from today, knowing Bible history for this passage matters. This is the story of Jesus and the woman at the well. So I'm going to read John chapter 4, going from verse 1 all the way to verse 6. Check this out. When Jesus learned that the Pharisees had heard that Jesus was making and baptizing more disciples than John, although Jesus himself did not baptize but only his disciples, he left Judea and he departed again for Galilee, and he had to pass through Samaria. So he came to a town of Samaria called Sychar, near the field that Jacob had given to his son Joseph. That's our first little history clue there. Jacob's well was there. Second clue. So Jesus, wearied as he was from his journey, was sitting beside the well, and it was about the 6th hour. If we were to continue to read through this chapter, John chapter 4, we get a few more history clues. But what's important to know is that Jesus runs into a woman who's a Samaritan. And I don't have enough time to go into their full history, but just a few things that are really important to know is that Jesus, as a Jew, and the Samaritan woman, as she's described as, who's a Samaritan, those two people groups historically did not get along. While they both worshipped Yahweh God, they didn't worship the same way. They had battles and conflict in the past. And so for Jesus to be talking to a woman in the middle of the day, that was significant. And the second part, for Jesus to be talking with a Samaritan, really significant. And so what this helps us understand is that Jesus understood the historical conflict between their two people groups. Yet, he decided to not only talk to a woman, he decided to talk to the quote-unquote enemy, the opposing people group that his people did not get along with. And that's what Jesus was about. There's a lot more to this story to unpack. We're going to be doing that this week. But one takeaway that I would encourage you to think about today and maybe even this week is if you have a run-in with a coworker, a family member, someone just makes, someone's short with you in the drive-through line, wherever you happen to be this week and you encounter people, remember, each person you talk with has history, has a past, has a context. And when you recognize that everyone has a past and there's more to them than just what they look like or what their name is or where they're at, you begin to have more sympathy and understanding of who they are. That's what Jesus did for people. That's how we saw the Samaritan woman. And that's what I want to leave you with today. So we hope you'll join us for more Devos this week, and I'll see you next time.